Hi, this is Wes from W Farmstead. So, what I've got going on today is the Kubota SSV75. I'm going to do the 50-hour maintenance on it. It's like 49.4, 49.5 hours, so it's close enough for me. But there's a couple things I want to show you. The dealer and I went around on this, and but if you come over here, you can see in the owner's manual during the see if you can let me tilt it up, that way it makes it easier on Tanya. Running in of the machine, okay, basically during this operation, during the first 50 hours, you're not supposed to run at full throttle and everything else. Now it comes down to the oil change part. It says oil change in the run-in stage. The lubrication oil plays a specific and important role during the run-in phase of the machine. The numerous movable parts are not yet run in, so many fine metal particles can be generated and may cause damage and shorten the life of many components. It says pay attention to the oil change intervals and complete them sooner than later. Okay, it says see regular checks and maintenance work section, okay, for the oil change. So on every other Kubota that I've seen, it's basically at that 50 hours you change the oil. This is kind of a gray area because basically it's every 500 hours you change the oil on the construction equipment. So the dealer and I went around. This tells me that, hey, you're going to have a lot of metal shavings and stuff during break-in period and all. You know, it's a good idea maybe to step up and change oil sooner than later, okay? So the dealer and I kind of went around about that, and he thinks, oh, you just changed it to 500 hours. Well, the way I look at it, oil and an oil filter is cheap compared to an engine. And with all the other Kubota equipment that I know of, like the B2601 and every other equipment that I know of, at the end of a break-in period, which is like generally 50 hours, you take and change the oil and other things, okay? So what I'm going to do is there's several little maintenance things at 50 hours that you're supposed to do on this SSV75 that's out there. The thing that I don't like about the way these manuals and everything are set up with Kubota is they give you a little tidbit, then you have to go to another section, get a little tidbit, and then go to another section, get a little tidbit. You know, just tell me at 50 hours what you want me to do. Tell me at 250 hours what you want me to do. Tell me at 500 hours what you want me to do. You know, and then I'll go from there. And I was just wrong about something. The oil changes 500 hours. So, sorry about that. But when I sit here and I look at some of the engine oil, it says to change, if you can see right there, engine oil change 500 hours. Then 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, okay? So where the dealer said that it refers to the maintenance schedule, well, the maintenance schedule says 500 hours change oil. Well, I think of 50 hours because of a break-in time period, since it is a brand new engine, you know, hey, it's cheap enough, go on and change the oil. So I'm going to change the oil, and as we go down through, I was looking down through because I'm looking on the 50s, okay? If I flip it over and go over to the other side on your 50, what I need to do is I need to replace the hydraulic filter oil too at the same time. Okay, I don't know if you can see that or not. I'm trying to get it. But so you change the hydraulic filter oil also at 50. So parts I've got here so that you can see. First of all, this is a hydraulic filter for the SSV75. It's the HHTA059900. Okay, so that's a hydraulic oil filter. Then you have the oil filter that I'm going to go on and change, and I'm going to change the oil, and that's HH1C032430. Okay, so I'm going to go on and change both of these. The other thing that it says that you have to do all your basic checks, such as clean everything up. On this one, on the 50 hours, every 50 hours it says with these SSVs is you have to take and swap the tires or rotate the tires. So that's something we've got to do on it too. So that's the reason why we built the cribbing here, was so that we can lift up the, set the SSV up and take and rotate both tires. Now you don't cross the tires because of direction of the, you have directional tread on there. You only change front to back and then take the back to the front. And you do that on each side, okay? So that's the only thing that you can do. You can't cross them over. You cross them over, you'll have a tread pattern that's the wrong way. The only way that you could do it and cross it over is if you took and took the tire off the rim and then flip the tire around and then put it back on the rim. And I'll tell you what, these tires right here are a pain in the butt. They are really thick sidewalled and everything else, and I'd rather not mess with that. You know, when I had that, you saw the video when I had the initial flat. Yeah, when I took it to the tire shop, they weren't too happy with that tire. He said that thing was hard to get off. And that's them using a hydraulic machine to take off the tire so they could get in there and patch it and everything. So that's the other thing that we have to do, and then I want to clean. So what I'll do is I'll go over here. We've got a 24 millimeter, and what I need to do is I need to take and I'm going to raise the cab up, clean it out, clean off the back grates and stuff, and make sure everything looks good, and just, you know, kind of make sure everything's kind of clean. There's not that much dirt in here at all, but we'll head over here and I'll show you what I'm doing quickly. So first thing I did was just kind of clean out the inside of the cab in a hurry. And on this one, you can take these bolts out, and then it allows for you to have access to the front to kind of clean everything out. But the other thing is to clean out in here. I don't know if Tony can get it to go down, but to clean out in here, which I've already quickly done, there's a piece that comes out here, and then what it does is there's a little thing that pushes right out the front, and it allows me to push everything out through the bottom of the, you know, from the bottom of the cab. Next thing I got to do is take these bolts off so I can lift up the cab, and just kind of quickly I'm going to blow out the inside of the bottom of the cab. So there's a one thing I always do is have these magnetics, but there's a bolt that's, or a nut that's down here at the bottom, and then this bolt goes down, and so and you know what? It figures. So this one's a 24, the nut at the top. So I'll grab the 24, hoping the bolt will be a 24. Well, the bolt's not. So I've got to go find another wrench. So I'm going to have to get a smaller one. try a 22. So I went on ahead and grabbed a 22 and a 21 just in case. So let's try the 22 first. Yeah, and it happens to be a 22. So I'll throw that down in there. Maybe I can get this off. Gonna be the easiest thing. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna improvise, and the easiest way to improvise is go get the impact and do it. There's one thing in life: do things smarter, not harder. So easiest way to do is pull this thing off with an impact. So what's funny is all the whenever I see somebody taking out these bolts to or taking out this bolt to lift up the cab and everything, they don't ever say anything about a nut being down on the bottom of it and stuff. They always say, oh, you just take this bolt out and it comes up. Yeah, there's a nut at the bottom of it. It's kind of weird the way that is. It's like a rubber piece with a nut on it. So, and when I was spinning it a minute ago, it was spinning that nut. So, okay. Sometimes it's just easier to do stuff like that. So let me lift this out. My stick. Wow, this thing's light. There we go. All right. When you pull it up, you got a little clip right here. This thing drops back in it and it keeps it from going up and down. So, and holds it up. It's been a while since I've been in here, but actually, if you get over here and look, it looks pretty clean. So, only thing I'm going to do is kind of blow it out in a hurry. So as you come over here, you come over on this side, you can see there's a return filter for the hydraulics right there. We aren't going to change that one right now. What we'll do is we'll change the pressure filter that's on the back for the hydraulics. So there's two. There's a filter here, there's a filter in the back in the engine compartment area, and then down in the tank, down here at the bottom down there, below the filter there, you can see where there's an inlet for the hydraulics there. There's what they have called a suction filter, and that has to be changed, from what I remember, every 1,000 hours, I think. Don't hold me to that. So I'll have to take a look at that. But while I've got everything up in a hurry, you also have to take and grease everything. So we'll go on ahead and I've already greased the SSQL, or the SSQs, the quick connects. And I'll go on ahead and I'll go on and grease the rest of this. You guys pretty much, it's something easy. You've seen the greasing before. So you got grease point here, same. Now what this is going to be, it's going to be on the other side. as well. So whatever there is here. So grease point here, grease point on the SSQA for the quick attach. Grease point there. You come back, grease point here, grease point here, 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 and here. Now, what you can do is if you look at this point, come on up here close so that you can see. The nice thing about this, the SSV75, it gives you all the points, and it tells you your hour intervals here too. And it shows, it kind of points out where everything is for you. Okay, and it does point out your grease points and stuff too. But it's pretty cool because it shows, it has a little guide here, kind of, and it goes around. So 50 hours, see there's the hydraulic fluid right here that needs the hydraulic filter, which is 10 in the back, that needs to be fixed. So when we get in here in a minute, I've got to put the cab down, I've got to pull that off and clean, and then clean the radiator and stuff that's in here. But here's the oil filter, and if you look back down here, that's the hydraulic filter we'll be cleaning. Then the other thing is I check to be sure there's no water in here, and if there is, we take and we drain the water off the fuel there. Okay, and so let's go on ahead and put this thing down in a hurry. So it has to be done. It's kind of a little bit of a trick. You have to push this back and then start bringing the thing down. A little bit of a pain. Easier than I thought, but you know, I thought you had to lift it up to push it so that you could pull it down, but you don't. All you have to do is push the thing because the internal shocks keep the cab up. Okay. I'll put it on a 2. There we go. Next thing I want to do is you remember the SVL 75 and 97, unless they've changed them now, but the way they've been doing is they have the air comes in from the back. On the 65 SVL 65 and 75, it comes down through the top. So what I need to do is I'm going to take this off because it's a trap. It catches all kinds of stuff, as you can see. Just basically blow it out. Simple. Try and clean this out a little bit. Yeah, all the twigs and stuff. So this is where your radiator is and your hydraulic cooler. So that's what I'm trying to clean out. Since we don't have air conditioning, it would have a an air conditioning condenser there too. So, you know, I never remember what these things are called, but man, this thing, watch. It's how much pressure this thing has when you pull.
Did a video on one of those.
Yeah, this thing's awesome. There we go. Now make sure you lock that back. And it locks it right in. Okay. All right. Okay, we are now ready to, I'm going to go on ahead and grease in a hurry. You guys Don't need to see that. I already showed you all the points on the outside. You got this one, this one. You come back, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. And I think I got them all. This one right here. Yeah, this one right here. Like I said, it does show on the diagram on the side of where they all are. And then you have a mirror. Same thing on the other side. Okay? So I'm going to go on and grease it up in a hurry and get her done. That's good. What I've done now is I pulled out this cribbing. I got one for the front and back on this side, and I got one for the front and back on that side. So I'm going to go on ahead and get in there and lift up this side, put these under there, and then let it down so that it's resting on these. So while it's resting on those, it'll be level, and that way I can go on and change the oil in the back and everything I need to. And then while it's still up, I'll be able to take and do the tire rotation as well at the same time. So, and forgot to swap out the hydraulic filter. So let's go on ahead and lift this front end up. Okay. Okay, so now I've got, what I've got is I lifted up the front end so I can put this cribbing under the front here and there, and then I'll do it in the back. I'll lift it with the jack, but I've got 4, one at each corner, to go on ahead and bring up the skid steer. That way what I can do is I can get in the back and I'll be able to rotate the tires along with change the oil because it will be level. Okay, so go on ahead and get this on. See, if you look here, I want to get this part right here to come down on this. Okay. Do the same thing on this side. Okay. Now, go on ahead and let it down on it. Tanya's going to have to kind of tell me if it's okay. So I'll go on ahead and see if you can get it with the camera. Is it okay? We on it? Okay. So I'll go on and shut it down so we got the front part. You know what? Since I've got to lift up the back part, I'm going to go on and lift up the front a little bit. And the reason why is if I get under it with the jack and start to lift it up, it's going to fight with that bucket being extended out in the hydraulics. So, come on. Okay. So, I just wanted to be sure because this would fight against me lifting with a jack in the back to put those back cribs on. So, what you can see is if you look right here and then look right there, it's perfect. So it's got the tires up off the ground. It's going to make me lift them a little bit, which will be just lovely, but that's okay. So let's go on and grab our good old Harbor Freight Daytona jack. And no, we aren't sponsored by Harbor Freight. We don't have any sponsors. This thing's all, everything that we do is gratis. We just hope you guys get a little bit of a laugh. Because every once in a while. Okay. So put that right there. And then same thing on this side. Okay. Now, hopefully I can take it down slow. There we go. Okay. So that's what it looks like, having that cribbing that we built on one of those episodes. It's got this skid steer up off the ground level, so now I'll be able to swap our tires front to back on both sides.